Hey everybody, we are back and ready to randomize again. We kind of won with Tainted Lazarus last time. Hey, they want us to be as a regular Eve, I think? No, wait, hold on. I think that's Tainted Eve to the Beast. True Ending. Why don't you just call it True Ending, the name I made up for it? Why are you so... Yeah. Why are you so stuck on this idea that you should call it the name that it was actually created to be called? Seems a little silly to me. Seems you've been acting pretty sus lately. I'm in a good mood. It's a Thursday, right? Yeah, it's a Thursday. Seems crazy. The week on Monday, I'm always like, man, this week seems like it's gonna be a long one. And then like Tuesday rolls around, and I'm like, not really. Then it's like Wednesday is already in the books. And then today it is Friday. We so excited. We're gonna have a fun time today. Today is Thursday, and Friday comes afterwards. I don't want this story to end. I always get it confused because there's like a parody of Friday called Sunday that's about going to church that I listen to like too much. I think it fused into my brain. Cause it's Sunday, getting down on Sunday. I forget the rest. I know at some point, sorry, I got lost. I forgot I was recording for a second there. I know at some point it says, Jesus is alive today. Which I'm not trying to cause any kind of controversy here, but I think that that's disputed. Snopes, as a present, is saying that that is unknown. It depends, I guess, on your definition of alive, because I thought that it was kind of like part of the... Hey, look, I shouldn't even get involved here. I shouldn't derive my knowledge of, modern Christianity from a parody of Rebecca Black's Friday called Sunday. I think is the take-home message there. Duplicate your money. Love to see it. Bank with ING Direct and save your money. Remember those commercials? I don't know if you had them in America. I think because ING Direct is like a Dutch bank or something that then also now is a Canadian offshoot. Look, in America, you got like a lot of your own stuff, okay? People are like, I don't want to bank with, HSBC. I'd rather bank with a bank that was created in Akron, Ohio in, 1854. I get it, all right? You got a huge population, a huge amount of influence. It makes sense. The rest of the world, a lot of us, we kind of share some companies with one another, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United Kingdom, in particular, as a result of our shared Commonwealth history. I might have forgotten some countries. I apologize, but we got a lot of... We eat the same chocolates. Our grandmas eat the same chocolates. They're all eating Cadbury Fruit and Nut Bars and Dairy Milk and Aero and Rolo and Caramilk and stuff like that. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Birthdays were the worst days, and then we sipping champagne when we thirsty. So honey, play me close. Son of a take two. Honey, play me close like butter plays toast. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. I really like in Juicy by Notorious B.I.G. when he says, "It's all good. Call the crib, same number, same hood. It's all good." It's like, hey, he's famous, but at the same time, he's like, he hasn't forgotten where he's come from. I embrace that, not out of like a sense of like necessarily agreement, but instead out of a sense of like, I get it, you're busy. I wouldn't want to change my phone number either. Like, you got a lot of stuff on the go. I can understand why you would do that. Hold the front door. This is and this is a scary situation, right? Because as Eve, Tainted Eve, we really would need the Sumptorium bonuses in order to generate any damage. Like, our damage is so bad right now.
Two of diamonds.
This is two of diamonds, by the way. However, If we could get an angel deal, which is, I'm realizing now, has no chance to happen. If we could, okay, well, either the Spirit Hearts or the 30 cents. They're both really good. They're both valuable. What does modeling clay do again? A random passive item each room. How about that? You don't say. Well, I think we'll probably, well, I don't know. If we get 30 cents, we'll buy a Spirit Heart. Otherwise, we'll probably just exist on the Spirit Heart like we got in there. I'm looking at Sumptorium. I'm like, are we okay? This is less value than I expected to get. Let's just put it that way. But it is what it is. You recoup a lot on the... Oh, we'll go right. Okay, hold on. My mistake. I forgot we got to go one deeper. This is fine, though. Genuinely fine, because you pick this up, you lose it. We got 30 cents, but it might seem like we're close to death, but we can actually just buy a Spirit Heart on our shop. I mean, modeling clay for a bomb is kind of tempting, but when you only got one bomb, it's a bit spooky. It's a bit spookier. We spent 5 minutes getting 47 cents. It's a little painful, but Deep Pockets is really good. This is nice. Do we know? We don't know that pill. Okay. I mean, I feel like we did what we had to do there, and we kind of just ate it, but that's life. You know, sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you. It's from The Big Lebowski. Don't really know what it means. Might hazard to suggest that nobody really knows what it means. Now remember, you just keep Sumptorium ready to go. You don't want to run out of HP here. What we want to see more than anything else, if you'll excuse me, is... No. You gotta kill these at some point, man. What we want to see is actually like a Tears upgrade. I've not been shy by the... Oh my god. I've not been shy about the fact that I don't actually think Tainted Eve is that great of a character. There's kind of an exception to the rule. Let's go. That's huge. And the exception to the rule is honestly... well, it's not really an exception to the rule, now that I think about it. So ignore that part where I said it's an exception to the rule. Instead, what I would say is when she pops like a weasel. No, wait, Pop goes the weasel. When she pops, it's an incredible run. That's pretty good. You can create some situations that are like, you know, like more powerful than many other characters in the game with the same kind of like oeuvre. And you leverage something different, you know? Like most characters in the game don't really have a way to capitalize on red heart generation beyond just increased chances of survival. But for Tainted Eve, if you generate red hearts consistently, you can use those red hearts to... increase your power, amplify your damage pretty immensely, honestly. So I think there's a lot to like there. She starts real slow though. Like not the you don't start like Usain Bolt. You start like Bowser in Mario Kart. And if you're not familiar with the Mario Kart morphology of things, essentially, the heavier a character is, the worse their acceleration is. That's why Yoshi, despite being... Can somebody explain to me how Yoshi, despite being modeled after a dinosaur, has fast acceleration? You're telling me Yoshi doesn't weigh, like, you know, 800 pounds? You seeing the amount of muscle required to move as Yoshi is ridiculous. And yet somehow Yoshi and Toad are supposed to have the same acceleration. Meanwhile, Mario, who is the same size as Yoshi from a height perspective, but not nearly as muscly, just based on the fact that he's a human being instead of a frickin' dinosaur. Mario has normal acceleration, but Yoshi's is fast. Okay, Nintendo. It makes a lot of sense, right? How stupid do you think we are? Are you dumb? Sorry. Sometimes I hate seeing corporations, you know, treat their customers like they're so gullible like this, okay? Like, yeah, okay, a dinosaur is gonna have better acceleration than a human being based on their weight distribution. Sure, alright, yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you say, Koji Kondo. You can tell I didn't come into today with, like, enough anecdotal sauce. It's true, like, I don't know if I'm blowing up the backlog at this point, but let's just say I didn't have to record a Slay the Spire episode this morning. Bit spooky here, but... and as a result, I find myself recording 2 Isaac episodes today. I gotta tell you, I don't think I'm in a place in my life where 2 Isaac episodes... I'm not living a 2 Isaac episode life right now. I got very little going on. Did I tell you I watched Survivor last night? Oh, for 40 minutes on yesterday's episode? Oh, okay, well, geez Louise. I don't know what else there is to say at this point. Hold on, BFF is just, like, exceptional. I actually feel like we've had really good luck with magic fingers lately, and I'm not above this. Thank you for hooking me up here. With deep pockets, the hope is that this, you know, does much more for us than you would originally expect. I think I'd like to keep deals with the Angel in the rotation so that we have HP that we can use for Sumptorium, because that seems like a more reliable sort of damage enabler for us. But I think Magic Fingers could be pretty great. Yeah, it was 3 cents to kill you. That's pretty good. Alright, let's just head down. Don't worry about anything else just for the time being. Our damage is so high, like Eve's Mascara, Magic Fingers seems like a great combo here. I mean, I'm burying the lead a little bit with the suggestion that there's not much going on. Because, I mean, it's not that there's a lot going on, but it is the baby's, it's the baby's 1-year birthday coming up. As mentioned, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but, like, it's not that big of a deal. I think on average in North America, like, somebody's first birthday is not necessarily like the be-all end-all, but you know, in Korean culture it has a lot more significance. So we're, you know, having family over. It's pretty wild. Like, I mean, it's been a long year and a half, right? Like, I mean, the baby's only a year old, but I'm speaking with COVID specifically. Like, my mom and my dad are coming from across the country to stay for a couple of weeks. And it's the first time, like, it's one of those things where you're like, you know, time flies, but, you know, remember what it took from us as well. Like, this is the first time my dad has seen his granddaughter since literally, like, the week she was born. Hold on. I mean, Red Candle's so good. We got a good thing going on here. So, rather than being, like, maudlin about that, I'm choosing to be, like, more positive, and, you know... This time last year, we didn't even know if it... by we, I don't mean humanity, but we as laypersons didn't even know if, like, vaccines for COVID were even possible. Then, you know, like, something, maybe it was, like, November, they were like, yeah, we got some. I was like, that's great news. And now, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say we're coming out of it. It's kind of, you know, like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I laugh, you know, to keep from crying. But you know, it's nice that at least, you know, it's not going to be even longer than that, for them to spend more time with their grandchild. And for my wife and I to have some time where we can be like, hey, because, like, again, and I'm not, we both love our daughter. This is just the reality of parenting. You're never, like, upset with your baby for requiring a lot of work. If you are, like, I'm not gonna say that that's unfair because I've, like, lived it, but at the same time, what can you do, right? Like, you know, you recognize probably that that's unlikely to solve anything. Dude, three lucky pennies. But there are some times where you're like, man, I just really want to be like an adult today instead of a parent. That has been an urge that we have been relatively unable to satisfy, you know, without having family around that are relatively able and eager to help. You know, there are people in our lives that we could possibly ask and be like, hey, could you look after our daughter for a little bit? Most of those people, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't trust them, because I think that that's not fair. You know, it's less that I wouldn't trust them and more like they shouldn't be trusted. No, it's less like I wouldn't trust them and more like I wouldn't ask them. Because, like, I think if you... There's, like, two ways that you can get a babysitter, right? Like, one of the ways that you can get a babysitter is by offering currency, excuse me. No, we need red hearts. In the marketplace of labor, and then, you know, finding... I thought that was going to be 3 lucky pennies. Finding someone, you know, hopefully trusted that you can work with for that. The other way is you ask someone that you know is a favor. I would only really do the second one if they were either family, and thus, you know, you kind of pay it forward on that one, or alternatively, if they, like, absolutely loved babies. Because there are some people out there that are, like, very pro-baby. You know them. By the way, you might, and this is... Hold on, I did just pick up an item. You might be one of those people who's not that pro-baby. And when you find yourself interacting with, like, a young cousin or something, like your sister's kid, you know... Why not? Look at that. You're like, I'm weird and awkward. I promise you... Well, I can't say that, like, everybody gets it, but, like, if I interact with people like that, like if I introduce my baby to somebody and then the person is kind of like a little cagey, I totally get it. I'm like, that's what I was like with kids before I had a kid. You know, even as a teacher, I had a very, like, clinical demeanor. I think I was good at the duties of teaching. I absolutely hated the fact that you had to be a little bit, well, I'm trying to think of the right way to describe it. I think I was an effective teacher, but I think I was, like, I was good at the part of the job that was teaching. The part of the job that was, like, you know, the kids will learn from you if they like you better. Nah, man. Like, listen to the way I talk. This is not something that, you know, like a 7-year-old kid who doesn't really speak English and is learning English. That's not like, you know, they're watching Markiplier. Be real. So, you know, it's different strokes for different folks. I'm trying to remember, by the way, if I even went to the item room on this floor. That's why I'm coming down this way. I didn't. Wow. How about that? The D1. Here's the thing. The D1's really good, but I'm kind of having the time of my life, and I owe it all to you. And you, in this case, is Magic Fingers. Can't go in there. Did we already go in? I don't know where I am. God, I hate this curse. I just am so irritated. But anyway, yeah. So it'll be nice to have some family here. The flip side of that is that, like, there's really nothing, like, to do. It's not like we can be like, hey, mom and dad, look after the baby. We're gonna have, like, a little bit of a date night. You know? Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, stuff is open. It's really just a question of, like, your tolerance for it. Like, we've had some meals on patios and stuff like that. And then I think, like, you know, indoors is, like, a step beyond. And then, like, sitting in a movie theater is, like, a step beyond that. Plus, we're probably getting close to the part where Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, will be on Disney Plus soon. It better not be Premier Access. You don't bring that to home video with Premier Access. That's only for stuff that you could have gone to see in the theater. Don't even try it, man. But it'll just be nice to break it up. I kind of look at it like, I tell this anecdote now and then, but something went wrong in, like, our 10th grade gym class in high school. We always split the gym, so it was co-ed. There was the boys' gym class and the girls' gym class. And we would alternate where, you know, the classes would warm up together, you know, jogging and push-ups and stuff like that. And then one class would take the whole gym to do, like, you know, some recreational activity like volleyball or whatever. And then the other class would go to the weight room and do weight training. No matter how much you enjoy weight training, like, playing a game is more fun, I think. I say that as somebody who's at times in my life has been into, you know, the lifting side of the coin. But something went wrong, and for like 2 months straight, the boys' class always went to the weight room, and the girls' class always got access to the gym to play like floor hockey and stuff like that. And it was like you know, for the first, like, couple of days, you're like, that's fine. Yeah, the girls need the gym. We'll go to the weight room then. Then you're, like, weeks of being in the weight room every single day. You just need, like, a tolerance break, right? Like, we were begging our teacher, like, please. We have lactic acid, like, seeping out of every actin, myosin filament in our bodies. Like, you need some recovery time in between... you know, going to the weight room to actually, like, rebuild the muscle. Otherwise, we're just beating it down. Why not? And they, I mean, of course, you could do, like, splits and stuff like that to make sure that that's less of an issue, but we weren't doing that. We were not properly educated. We were just going up there doing, like, bicep curls nonstop. It's like you do bicep curls, preacher curls, then you do the one where you have, like, a plate, like a weight plate. Attached to a string with a handle on the other end, and then you would drape it over like the balcony basically, and then use your forearms to work it back up. We were just doing that like 5 days a week, 2 days off on the weekends. Coming out of there looking like Abomination from the Incredible Hulk movie. That's kind of how I see, like, you know, the baby situation. Parenting, I guess you could say. You like it, it's good for you, it's good for the baby, especially as she becomes more cognizant of the world around her. It becomes more fulfilling and also more fun. But there are some times where I'm like, man, I could really go for like some floor hockey today. And also, that's the win-win, right? Because grandma and grandpa would love some baby time too. Especially, you know, we'll just pull on their heartstrings. Oh, think of all the stuff you missed over the past year. Time to make up for lost time. We're going to Cabo San Lucas. I don't even know where that is. I think it's in Mexico. I don't... Anyway, very much looking forward to it. And the other thing is, like, honestly, it's just going to be nice to have a conversation with, like, other adults. I know how that sounds, but you got to remember, like, I'm not a very social guy. I would say I'm like at least one standard deviation outside of the norm. I don't know, man. I'm kind of loving this trinket, honestly. When it comes to the... And I'm being sincere here. I'm not trying to flex. I think this is just how I'm wired from, like, being an only child who grew up, like, in the country and then later moved to the suburbs. I think I'm resistant to... feeling the ill effects of isolation versus the average person in the population. Like, I grew up, especially, like, over the course of a summer vacation, like, you know, when you're in 6th grade and you live in the woods on summer vacation, it's a lot of time, you know, you hang out with your neighbor's kids maybe, but apart from that, there's a lot of times where you're like, it's just me, and that's okay. So I think I'm relatively well insulated to the effects of like social isolation and like loneliness and stuff like that. But it has been like, you know, a year and a half of the pandemic, and like I'm sure everybody's going through something similar, but I'm like, I speak to my baby and my wife and chat and the people in the Discord call, like, yeah, for sure. But like, in terms, like, face-to-face, I guess I don't speak face-to-face with chat, but, like, too much of my social interaction is, like, in the parasocial environment where you either have people being, like, people that love you are, like, I hate you, when you gotta, like, tease that apart. Or, alternatively, you know, people are like, you've changed my life, you're, like, the greatest person that's ever existed, and you're like, I'm literally iced coffee. I'm not doing anything. I'm just playing video games. Not to besmirch that, you know, because, you know, different things have meaning to different people. I'm just saying. So to be able to speak with just some other adults is gonna be nice about like adult things, and I don't mean like I mean it's just nice to talk to normal people. Like I know how this sounds, but like chat, don't get me wrong, you might be normal people, but in chat you're not normal people. I'm not saying you're weird. It's just that the dynamic on Twitch is different. You know, you're not like, oh, how's the weather? Most people, at least, Mouth is, but you know. It's rare. It's few and far between. Like, I want to have a conversation with some other adults about, like, you know, anything. Hey, whoa, did you see, do you ever have the spiral ham from Costco? Can't talk about that with, like, most of my friends are other streamers. We're not normal. You know, well, I'm not trying to put him too much on blast, okay? I burned him really good yesterday, though. That's what I'm gonna say, and it's very sincere. They were making fun of the people who make fun of them for over appraising their Pokemon cards. They're like, they put on a funny voice in Discord and went, it's only $6. It's not a big pull. It's not even competitive playable. And then I said, joke's on them. None of the cards are playable and competitive because they're all going to be sitting in mid-30-somethings closets collecting dust for the next 10 years. Then Apollo said, the joke's on you. When my binders get here, I'm going to have so much fun sorting my cards. To which point I said, hey, just a question. Have you started folding your laundry yet? Or do you still just pull it out of the dryer and then leave it in a big pile? And all he said was LMFAO in all caps, which I think tells you everything you need to know. Again, that's what I'm saying. The streamers are not normal either. We don't want any of this, man. Like, this is... Come on. We don't even want the key piece. $1 million says he's gonna forget what direction he's going in. Okay, well, give me my $1 million then. I suppose we could have taken the key piece. Perhaps I was too harsh. It'll be nice to talk to, like, some normal people who really, like, don't know what the internet is outside of, like, you know, Yahoo. It's gonna be a good time. Anyway. Hey, so there's my anecdotes. Nice try. Almost had me there. And yet, when I look back, I laugh. Because you never even had your car. Which is just humorous to think about. What? You hit me? I don't know. Like, I don't think we can lose this run. As long as we manage our bankroll appropriately, we have so many different avenues to get value from. Like, this deep pockets play was huge, but then having so much damage obviously also makes it so that we're just absolutely crushing it every time we use magic fingers. And we have like an incredible trinket. I mean, the trinket is so good that I neglected to take curved horn, and really I didn't think twice about it, to be honest with you. I'm totally okay with it. I actually think we could make a case here for playing the Eddie Room, even though it's going to cost us so many Spirit Hearts. You're going to laugh at me. Just give me a minute here. I think that Lazarus Rags might actually be the play. And it's the kind of boring that I'm like a huge fan of. I think this is really good too. Like, I don't think Lazarus Rags is likely to be great for us. We're going up from this point onwards. Okay. I don't think Lazarus Rags is likely to be great for us, but I think it's much more likely to have a potential benefit than this secondary item. But the secondary item is Mom's Knife, so... Alright, well, I would say we did okay on that. Am I really gonna play an Eddie Room? Yeah, you know, like, I don't know, it could be fun. But we're getting money every time we get hit, which is then generating Spirit Hearts for us. Maybe not to the degree that we'd like, but we're recapturing a lot of our lost investment. We're recapturing some of our lost investment. We got a miter, which is, I think, pretty nice. Troll bombs. Get them out of here. This could kill us, by the way, but I'll die knowing that it was funny. That's worth something to me. Certainly created a lot of mess. Okay, and then one of these. Man, I really, so I wanted 7 spirit hearts, but now I'm realizing that, like, 30 cents is going to be, like, 5.5 spirit hearts, which is still pretty great. What did we get, 4.5 spirit hearts? Yeah, that's still, and we got 30 cents. So there is that. Plus, we got all these familiars that are really, like, probably serving a purpose, but largely also annoying the crap out of me. Alright, I think we're ready to go, then. My god, this sounds, man.
It's gone. Just get over it.
I spent it. It's gone. Crawl space? Where did... Oh, from sulfuric acid, we got crawl space into Halo? Oh, my god. That's, you know, what the? That's my bad, but also, like, I can't see. Did we ever leave an item behind? Did we ever romance the thought of leaving it all behind? Kanye, step away from the limelight, like when I was on the grind in the 1999? That was just an embarrassing hit. We should remind ourselves, we're about to go up against the beast. The right time to start worrying about your HP is immediately. You know, sure. We're unlikely, I would say, right now to face a considerable amount of despair. Excuse me, my trinket is broken. It no longer appears to be working. We're unlikely to face oblivion, I would say. But at the same time, the best thing that you could do is just minimize those chances even further. Man, we're like the space bar. Magic Fingers is on like a 2 for 2 streak here of being way better than I ever thought it could realistically be. Please. You gotta be safe on that one. So we've lost our sacrificial egg benefit, and we're not taking any pills. Maybe we should be at some point, but for now we're not. D1. Again, if we got like a half spirit heart to drop, I think we could pull some real value out of a D1, but apparently, like on the way up, this trinket just like does not work. How about now? Hey, I'm not gonna do it because I'm mad. Because I'm petty like that. There we go. I'm just happy we finally got some value out of it. We should be looking, if possible, for like, if we can get some red hearts and then roll into the fights with like an amazing Sumptorium setup. That would be the dream, I think. Obviously, generating as many spirit hearts as possible is worth a lot for me. But the more red hearts we could have, the more valuable it would be as well. Am I like I feel like I'm being punked. I'm being punked right now by the sheer lack of spirit hearts that are getting paid out from pennies. What? Oh my god. Is this the new pot play? Please. I've done as you've asked. Now give me back my spirit heart. Owns? Create one more. You never know, man. These could come in handy. Like, every single lump has its own degree of value. Don't get it twisted. 11? I used 11 cents and you didn't die. I'm gonna say it, I'm flabbergasted. I don't use that word lightly, I don't like to cuss on this stream. But I'm a little flabbergasted. I'm willing to admit it. I just think it's funny. I think we're doing the right thing, by the way. I don't think that it's, I mean, whatever HP... I have no concept of what I got hit by. Whatever HP... Or, sorry, whatever money we have left over after all this, I'll be happy to use, for the beast fight. But I think that just to get through these rooms a little bit more efficiently is probably more important. Plus, I'm genuinely not sweating it, because I'm like, I would say I'm like 100% confident this is finally going to be the run where we get Mom's knife from the chest. It's been known to happen. It will be a miraculous day when it finally does. That was not a good use of our money, but okay, here we go. So get ready. Like, I'm very excited because Mom's knife is incoming here. I feel like, don't quote me on this, but I feel like if we, no matter what, I think we want to create a number of lumps because they're lovely lady lumps. Check it out. I drive these suckers crazy. I do it on the daily. Dolce & Gabbana. I don't remember the rest of it, but I think now we can rest and we can either double up on our lumps or we can just stick with these lumps in full HP. And I really think that we should be doubling as often as possible here. Because I don't think we're going to take that much damage, and I think the more of these that we have, the merrier. To a point. Whoops. So if there's anything, by the way, that I have learned from these beast fights where we've had, like, very low damage. Let's go. Then I would say that one of the things that's most prudent about them that I've learned is that I think that's where we're going to want to save our devil card. You can't overstate the effect. Oh, we were so close there, too. You can't overstate the value of having damage available for that. I know, you're like, he almost died. Here's the thing, I didn't. So did I almost die? I don't think so. I appear to be looking pretty good here. Appear to be looking pretty good here. Whoops, I sumptoriumed. I meant to use the devil, but... so we will continue to just use this as appropriately as possible. This boss, not the hardest version of what we're going to face on this fight. We're gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. You shouldn't worry about it to begin with. Like, it's... I'm the one who's actually, like, going through this right now. Let me handle it. You got nothing to fear. Now, just don't... You can tap shoot. It'll steer you well. Now, whenever there's a lot of enemies, don't be afraid to press the space bar. It will always benefit you. You got 26 more attempts at it. Oh, baby. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Very easy, very good, very swag. I like it. Next time we get hit with Sacrificial Egg, I'm pretty sure it's gonna spawn like a boss familiar that's just gonna land in the lava and die. Or do nothing, at least. I told you we were fine. I told you I was gonna embarrass you, Barry. Just be careful, because, like, you do want to collect on Sumptorium before things get too bad. Why is my Sumptorium not working? Because I don't have any wisps! Like I I said, we're going to be fine. Hey, we died, but we're fine, like, mentally. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Hey, for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!